Yo, what's up, gym free athletes? If you're clicking on this video, then you've probably clicked on other videos in the past talking about how our modern lives give us hunchback posture. That forward head posture, that is not attractive, nor is good for your body. And in those videos, you probably saw exercises like these. And don't get me wrong, these exercises definitely work, but they don't give you the big picture. It's the equivalent of someone trying to tell you that standing up straight is all you need to do to fix your posture. There needs to be a deeper foundation laid for these ideas to work. So in this video, we're gonna give you the exercises that will help you build a strong foundation. But first, we're gonna talk about what those underlying issues are that we're gonna try to correct so that you can get rid of your hunchback posture. To fully understand the context of hunchback posture, we need to know a little bit of anatomy, and don't worry, this should all be fairly familiar to you. So there's 4 parts of the spine that I want you to be familiar with and be able to identify on yourself. And that is the base of your skull or the top of your neck, the thoracic spine, or just like where your rib cage is, and that's where the hunchback posture is. The bottom of your ribs, and then your lumbar spine, which is right where your pelvis starts, right above that. And the reason we need to know each of those spots is those are the spots that tend to have too much curvature if you're dealing with hunchback posture. So what I'm saying is the real problem with hunchback posture is that you have too much curvature in multiple places in your spine, but we like to fixate on the one that sticks out into the world, the hunchback, the one you can see with your shirt on. So any attempt to fix hunchback posture that doesn't involve learning how to control the parts of your spine above and below your hunchback, it just won't work, because you'll always find movement and compensate in the areas above or below, and you won't actually be able to gain access to your hunchback without that control. Let me show you how easy it is to compensate when you're trying to undo your hunchback posture over a foam roller. All right, so now you understand the problem. Let's talk about how we're gonna fix it. In these first few exercises, we're gonna show how you can work on gaining control and strength around those areas of the spine above and below the hunchback. And then we'll get into what all of you came for, those exercises that will actually help you straighten out your hunchback posture. Let's do it. Okay, in this first activity, we're just gonna gain some awareness over those 4 spots of the spine that we talked about. This first segment of the spine is the lumbar spine, the low back, and it attaches directly to the pelvis. So we're gonna tip the pelvis forward and backwards. If you want more help with this one, I'll link a video for you. Okay, let's move up the spine to the rib cage. We're gonna flare the rib cage out and then pull it in nice and tight. And when you pull your rib cage in, don't let your head fly forward or the shoulders round. Stay nice and tall. Next, let's look at the thoracic spine, where your hunchback is. I want you to exaggerate your hunchback and then just try to make yourself nice and tall. We're not looking for perfection here. And finally, we'll look at the neck. Drive your chin forward and then do the exact opposite. I like to think about pulling the base of my skull up towards the ceiling or sky. Now that you've gained some awareness, let's look at an actual exercise. So we're gonna do a plank, but we're gonna do a plank in a very specific way that's gonna work really well for hunchback posture. So in this quadruped position, I want you to go through those bottom 2 segments of the spine we talked about, the lumbar spine and then the rib cage, and make sure you can move both of them. And what we're gonna do is we're going to try to round the low back and pull the rib cage in as best you can, like this right here. This would be a perfect position. And notice, I'm not rounding the upper back excessively, and I'm not throwing my chin forward. I'm just trying to make my upper back long and really focusing on squeezing those muscles on the front side of the body, trying to tuck my tailbone under and pull the rib cage in. Then you can do whatever plank position feels best for you to challenge yourself. Next, we're gonna do an exercise that's both a stretch and strengthening exercise. You're gonna stand on a small band or hold small weights in your hand. And this is just to give you traction downwards so that your shoulder blades move down away from your ears. Now, the goal with this exercise is to make your spine as long as possible. So what that's going to involve is going into that position we just learned in the plank by tucking the tailbone and pulling the ribs in. Then we're going to tuck the chin and try and pull the base of the skull up towards the sky. So here I'm showing the shoulder position. We want it down, not up. Then we make the lower spine nice and long, tuck the tailbone, and then slowly unravel upwards. And you should feel a stretch in the upper traps, those muscles that connect your shoulder to your neck. Give yourself a break on this one too. It can be quite strenuous. You see me going in and out of the position. That's how I would recommend it. And if you feel some muscles kicking in your upper back, great. Those are muscles that you haven't used in a long time. Say hello for me. Next up, we have the crab. And if you've done this before, I want you to still pay attention because the way we're gonna do this for hunchback posture may be a little different than you've done it before. We're really gonna focus on driving the shoulder blades down and back first and making the spine as long as possible. Again, just like the other exercises we've done. The key points related to the spine here are pulling the rib cage in, so you don't want your ribs flaring, and then keeping that neck nice and long, so you're not letting your head fly forward, you're actually pulling the base of your skull away from your shoulders. We love the crab for hunchback posture because one of the contributing factors is tight muscles on the front of the shoulders, like your pecs, your delts, and your biceps. And a quick reminder for all these exercises, please don't forget to breathe. And finally, we'll finish with my favorite stretch in the world, the wall, pec, and thoracic opener. This is where we're going after your hunchback posture. This stretch has 3 components to it, so pay attention here. First, we'll start by placing the hands on the wall at about double shoulder width apart. You're gonna lean into the wall, and the harder you lean, the more intense this stretch will be, so moderate your intensity accordingly. In this first part of the stretch, we're going to flex the spine, the whole entire spine. So we're going to round the low back, the mid back, and even try to round the upper back, pulling the chin to the chest. If you experience any tightness in the shoulder joint here, then you need to watch the video linked on the screen right now. Then, in the second part of this stretch, we're going to try and arch the entire back. We're gonna let the low back arch, try and drive the mid back into an arch, and pull the base of your skull up towards the ceiling or sky as best you can to even extend the upper back. And the final part of this stretch is we're gonna try to maintain that arch or extension in the upper back while now rounding the lower back. This can get really intense, so I want you to take it easy when you're starting. Use a camera or a mirror to make sure you've got it down, and don't forget to have fun with it. We hope you can take these exercises, put them into practice, and fix your hunchback posture. If you have any questions, some of these exercises are pretty challenging. Please leave in the please leave them in the comments below. We want to help you. Our good friend Matt Shu from Upright Health made an awesome video about how to change your lifestyle, like your workstation, driving, probably doing a lot of this. So how to change those habits so you can get better posture just by making better decisions throughout your day. Click the link on the screen to see that video. It's one of these somewhere. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and who needs a gym? Check out his video. He's got really good content on how to fix your lifestyle to make your posture better.